And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show. And this is going to be episode 451. So I hope you guys had a great day and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the MSK show, I am going to be having a conversation with Shaun Stackhouse once again. And this is going to be his second appearance on the show. Technically, third appearance. This is his second one-on-one appearance talking to me. Last time he was on, we were actually the topic of the show was that Deadpool Batman crossover comic book that eventually came out, and we actually did end up reading and reviewing it. But before he could actually give his opinions on the topic, he had already dipped out of the show. I think it's because you were sick or something. I don't know what came up, because like right as we were gonna do the topic, you're like, just like MSK, just like my dad, leaving for milk and cigarettes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's probably something like that, man. Like 9 months ago.
Fucking hell, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. That means that was before Christmas. What
Yeah.
the hell? So yeah, it's been a minute since you've actually been on. So everything been going pretty good personally and
Yeah.
conversation-wise?
Yeah. I can't really complain about things that I can't really control, you know. So, but yeah, like everything else is pretty cool.
Okay.
How about yourself?
Well, you know what? I'm getting old at this point. I'm one of these guys where I'm going on Twitter and it's basically just like a Modern Warfare 2 kind of lobby. You know, that's
Yeah.
how I treat Twitter. Twitter to me is just basically, if you treat it like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 lobbies, you're going to have the best time. You know, that, and I told people this too. You know, if I ever tweet something that you don't like, or, you know, keep in mind, I'm just speaking what's in my mind, or technically tweeting what's on my mind, right?
Sure.
Now, I want people to understand, a lot of people in life should actually do this. If someone tweets something that you don't like or whatever, probably maybe like DM them if you have a problem, like going under a tweet being like, I actually never liked you. Fuck you. Your mom should be dead. You fucking incel bigot. It's like, what in the world? Bro, I'm just tweeting. I'm not taking these things that seriously though. I'm just saying things on my mind. It's not serious.
I get that, man. And you know what, like, you know, my generation, you know, like we grew up with like split. Our childhood was analog and our teenage years were digital and all of this stuff. So like our approach to Twitter is like, we just kind of scroll, shake our heads. Like we don't have to reply. Sometimes we will. But like, for the most part, it's interesting to scroll through and just see how many stupid people there are. But if you were to take a minute and reply to every stupid person on Twitter, you would never get a thing done. So
yeah. Also, you know, I don't mind combing through like different opinions and seeing how people, you know, see things. I like to sometimes even have conversations like that, because I like to have all the perspectives to gain. It's like, because, you know, when you talk about something, it could be such a monolith and how people view these things now these days, where any level of criticism is just deemed like that. The best tweet ever was the pancake waffle one, where it was, just because I say I like pancakes, so implies that means you must hate waffles. That's the best tweet ever. Honestly, in my opinion, it's easily the best tweet ever, because that's literally how social media has always kind of been deemed. Like I could say, I thought James Gunn's Superman movie was okay, and I thought it was just okay. I had some problems with it. I thought it was just okay. I thought you know, I thought Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four from the MCU were just better movies in my opinion. Just my opinion, right?
See, I didn't like Thunderbolts, but I'm with you on Fantastic Four. I think it was good. Just a little bit better than James Gunn Superman.
Yeah, and people, well, you must just not like James Gunn, guys. Holy shit. So I don't like James Gunn, even though I blatantly have always said throughout my podcast in the past, I think his Suicide Squad movie was the second best, or debatably best movie in the DCEU. Because that movie was in the DCEU when that continuity was still going. I loved his Suicide Squad movie. I thought it was really fucking good. I had a great time with it.
It felt more like a DC movie.
Yeah.
Like other than maybe like Shazam and Wonder Woman felt kind of DC, and
yeah.
But yeah, the Suicide Squad, it felt like a more of a gritty, like DC type of comic book movie.
Yeah, because for me, when it comes to Suicide Squad, and keep in mind, I didn't have comics really growing up, so like learning about these characters just came from the internet. I watched like Comics Explained. I'd read about these characters on wiki pages. I had to, because I didn't really have any money, you know, and I the Suicide Squad was really big at this moment in time, so I kind of learned about how they came to be, what they originally were, and the different iterations. Like the latest iteration of their characters for their comic books was like it was like Justice League versus Suicide Squad for like I think it was like or something, or it was New 52, where Amanda Waller wanted General Zod on her team, and then he at one point wasn't going to be controlled by her because she thought that bomb was going to affect him. It's like, well, he did something where he bounced his laser beams off the bomb in his head and it exploded, and it doesn't kill him because obviously that's not going to kill him. And he just turned to be some big villain. It was a really cool, I thought it was a really cool idea, a really cool story. But like the Suicide Squad to me were always characters that are like that. People are like, why aren't they like the Avengers? Holy shit, are you people retarded? They're villains. They aren't good people. They're supposed to be like that.
I
what
mean,
is wrong?
That's why you have like the Justice Society and like Justice League International. You know, Suicide Squad is not for that.
Yeah, the criticism I give it, yeah, things can be criticized, but it's like there should be criticism that makes sense, right? And keep in mind, you can have your own opinion. That doesn't mean it means anything in the grand scheme of things when you're making an opinion about something that makes no sense. People literally said, "Why does this movie have cussing in it? They're villains." What? They're doing villain things.
Just check this out. Check this out. Like yesterday, I made a community post on the channel that I run with T-Virus Terrence.
Yeah, the World Finest Team Up. Yeah.
And so I asked who would win the DC Universe versus Freddy and Jason. Say they teamed up.
Right.
And 92% said the DC Universe, but there was a small percentage that said Freddy and Jason would wipe out the entire DC Universe. Yeah.
Oh God. I mean, I will say this. You know, I can't. What in the world?
It's crazy.
It's like those people that think that Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Hakusho could beat Ichigo from Bleach. I'm like, are you high? Are you actually high?
Yeah.
Maybe people.
So it's like these days, conversations. Like if.
Oh no, you go. Sorry, my bad.
Well, yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, if you want to have a conversation like Superman versus Goku, you know, that's a little bit more acceptable, you know. But Freddy and Jason versus the DCU, come on,
it's like a wash. We call that a wash these days when it comes to matchups. No, it's just one of these things where, like, because for my reasoning, it's like, okay, people are like, well, Peacemaker, he just shot up a bunch of people. Yeah, it's the guy that's in jail for killing people, though.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's on point with this version of the character. They also were mad. DC movie has a lot of cussing in it. You guys watch Deadpool, which made a lot of money at the box office. Deadpool in his movie cusses. If we're going to criticize things about cursing, let's at least be a little consistent. Some of these people are only like for their team. Everything that team does is the best thing ever since the last thing. And anything that this team does is the worst thing ever. It's like those weird virtue signaling people on Twitter where it's like everything that they do is righteous and great and upstanding and uplifting and the best thing ever. But anything you do is the worst thing ever. And all your intentions were always bad. And you were never good at anything and all this other stuff. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
What? How do you view people like that? You just must be an idiot. Like when those people say, well, illegal immigrants, they're all good people. Guys, in the history of human everything, there's never been a group of people that has been checks notes 100% perfect. That's never happened in human history. So every single illegal immigrant is a good person? Every single one of them has good intentions? Where do you get these mindsets
It's like
from?
saying every person that is born legally in America is a good person. No.
These weird monolithic thoughts that people have. I'm just like, okay, guys, yes, I agree. Things shouldn't always sway one way or the other too much. But just to think that every single person is good is like, come on, guys. And I used to think that way too. I used to be naive like that. Like, I do want to believe that a lot of people are good. I want to believe that. That doesn't make it true, though. You know,
when you're in your late teens and your early 20s, you know, you're still figuring yourself out. You're figuring the world out. So you're going to be a little more naive, and you're going to give people. That's when you're going to start being more willing to give people the benefit of the doubt, right? But then as you get older, you get burned like a number of times.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Sure. You know, and it's like, well, I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, but how is that going to work out for me ultimately? You know, so you have to really think about it.
Yeah, I also think that because we'll do DC and then we'll do Marvel, then we'll do Star Wars to wrap up the show because we're not gonna be that long. It's only like an hour and some change. Because
Okay.
Sean's we're like old guys. we need rest. Come on, I took a nap earlier today because my eyes were sore. Because I'm old at this point, guys. Now I can't be that fluffy, spunky MSK like I was some years ago. Actually, I will say so. Like when I bring up on Twitter, I think Superman has been the best version of what a modern Superman should show people how great this character is. I'm not saying that I don't like Henry Cavill Superman. But keep in mind, I can say that because then I can evolve the conversation. People just for some reason think conversations are stagnant and should never evolve though. I don't like
Mhm.
Henry Cavill Superman. I don't think it was good at all. I feel like it was very bland. It was a very mundane performance. I didn't really think it was encompassing what I believe Superman should be. Now, does that mean I hate Henry Cavill? No.
No.
I think he's an overrated actor, but that doesn't mean I hate because to go from I don't think he delivered a good Superman performance to I hate this guy. What's that song? You going from 0 to 100? Like what?
Mm.
I
Yeah, well,
hate
see,
Henry
I think
Cavill. What?
right.
Fucking
I think
ridiculous.
Henry Cavill. I think Henry Cavill has the ability to be a good Superman. It's
Right.
just they've got to get somebody to write a script that's not a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, so Man of Steel, it was written. Thing was David S.
David S.
Goyer,
Goyer. Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm.
and so it was a good movie, but it was a bad Superman movie.
Mm-hmm.
So you just don't, you
Yeah, it's one
know.
of these things where, hey, and I agree. Like this, it's weird because people think that just because you don't like a movie, you just can't acknowledge good things in it. And then when you do, apparently that means that you like that movie now. Guess what? I don't think Man of Steel's that good. Do I think it's bad? I wouldn't really say that. It's one of those movies that's kind of meh for me because of the things you just said. Like
Yeah.
visually, stylistically, action, set designs, way people look that's all stuff that's really good from a film
Yep.
technical point of view. But when I'm analyzing, like, okay, this is a DC movie, this is a Superman movie, story wise, perception of the Kents, I don't think Henry Cavill Superman's Clark Kent was all that interesting, all that good. That's where the thing starts to go down for me because I look at things where I'm like, hey, I like this
Mhm.
thing, I like that thing, but this thing brings it down. Like, I think the Jor-El in Zack Snyder's Man of Steel
Yeah.
was better than the Jor-El in James Superman. The Jor-El was
What
amazing in this
what
movie.
James did to both sets of Cal's parents was just horrible. Like what he did to the Kents, making
Mhm.
them look like some sort of like on the spectrum farmer in Smallville, Kansas. Like that is not
Aren't
how
you like
they.
from Kansas? So people
No,
didn't
I'm
act
I'm
like.
I'm I'm from Missouri, but I'm like 20 minutes away, and I've been in those places many times in my life, and so I can tell you that is not how the people act. So
Oh
if you
God.
really want, if honestly, like the best live action version of Jonathan Kent was John Schneider on Smallville.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Smallville really made I think Superman's. I would say because I think a lot of people don't read Superman comics because when it comes to superhero media mediums in general, I feel like a lot of
mhm.
people only kind of get their knowledge from the movies and shows, and I do feel like the best interpretation of Superman, bar none, minus Christopher Reeve, because that was like what 78. Good lord, I wasn't even
Yeah,
alive then. I think the best interpretation of Superman has been on TV. The Superman animated series, the Smallville show, Superman and Lois, him being part of Justice Unlimited. I mean, even some of the animated movies that he's had throughout the years. It was so weird when people said that Superman didn't get anything. What do you mean didn't get anything? He was getting like 5 animated movies a year with appearances in other
yeah.
people's shit. It's like he's been getting a lot more than a lot of other characters. I mean, like Wonder Woman
The only thing he's been
gets
lacking on,
nothing.
like
Yeah.
seriously, like is video games.
Really, that's
Um,
really all it is. Yeah, it's just video games. He
yeah,
lacks in.
like we need like a good Superman trilogy,
Mhm.
like the Arkham trilogy was.
Yeah.
I mean, even a Flash game would be awesome. I'm not sure how you would do that with like the Speed Force and what have you, but
Mhm.
I mean, and even Wonder Woman, man, that game was like it was supposed to happen. It was supposed to have been out by now.
Yeah. Right.
You
I
know,
remember when
it's
they
like,
announced it with the cinematic, and then I think
yeah,
I randomly thought about it one day. I was like, wait a minute, that game's had no development in its production. This is a problem with Hollywood. I think we talked about it in your last appearance where they just announce stuff and then randomly you remember it in your head and you go, wait a minute, there's been nothing done about that ever.
right.
That
I
was
think the
one.
worst
Yeah.
offender is Lucasfilm.
That
Like if
yeah,
you
they're
look
the
at
worst at it. Yeah. Fuck.
they have like 6 trilogies worth of things they announced that never happened. It's like, wow.
Dude, that Wonder Woman game, I remember just randomly I was like, wait a minute, that's not had anything done with it. Then when you start thinking about it, these things are getting canceled. And
Yep.
the thing is, I feel like a lot of people with the whole Superman video game thing you brought up, I feel like it's something that a lot of people forget in their brains. This stuff is supposed to be like kind of whimsical and fantastic, and it's supposed to be this
Yeah.
crazy bonkers thing that you're not supposed to believe because it's in a fantasy world. If you can make Dragon Ball Z video games, and there can be, good lord, hundreds of those with Goku hitting people as hard to throw them through rocks. If you're telling me you can't do a Superman video game, that's just ludicrous. Like, there's a bunch of different ways you can make that work. I just personally feel like they don't get the right people attached to certain things to make them happen, though. Like, I personally feel like it really does boil down to getting a good amount of people on a project. Now, to be fair, I've always kind of argued that you could also have the best people in it not work too, but I think it all can fail. You can have like the best people on something and it can all fail, but 9 times out of 10, if you don't have someone who kind of knows what they're doing, it's not gonna be as good. Like Superman, what's that video game he had? Was like Superman Returns, that tie-in movie game, maybe?
Yeah, it may have been that, because the last good Superman thing I think that I played was like something Apocalypse. It was like on the PS2, and it had the voice cast of Superman the Animated Series. So yeah, I know the Superman Returns game came out, and I know one on the Xbox came out in the late 90s or early 2000s, but like since maybe 2006, the only thing I've seen Superman in has been like the DC Universe video game online.
I guess you could say Injustice, maybe, but that's not, to be fair, he is kind of the main lead of that. If you want to, but that's like being super technical. It's like, he is the main lead of this. Like, I guess Injustice is the last time he was like really big in video games. That's like the last time I remember, honestly. Unless you count.
But you also have to keep in mind that Injustice it's an Elseworld.
True, right? Yeah. There's not been much, honestly. I mean, they're because a bunch of just Justice Leagues. Oh, Suicide Squad kills a Justice. He was a part of that.
That was horrible.
And people wonder why Warner Brothers is getting taken over. Guys, Warner Brothers, people might not like conservatives and all other stuff because they're told not to like these certain people by the media. Even though they claim they're anti-establishment, they sure do suck these people off every chance they get, right? Guys, Warner Brothers put themselves in this spot to be taken over, i.e., blowing a whole bunch of money on Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. That's just one thing, I'm telling you, right? That's just one thing. A lot of money they just willy-nilly just blow it on things. Like, they've torched a lot of their franchises with bad decisions constantly. DC, Harry Potter, their video game side of things, a lot of the movies coming out flopping. Just this week, we're doing this episode. They produced a movie about Frankenstein's wife, not Frankenstein, the main guy, Frankenstein's wife. And forget these kind of monsters haven't really had popularity in a long time. And Maggie Gyllenhaal, yes, she was in The Dark Knight. She was like the only bad part about that movie, I guess you could say, because I liked Katie Holmes. I wish they kept her, but she was filming something else at the time.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, but she was like, I made this movie so women could have their voice in Hollywood when Trump became a president. Oh my God. Oh, what? Why?
Is that the Bride?
It just came out. Yeah, it flopped badly.
What movie is that?
8 million opening weekend. 8 million.
Wow.
Remember that movie with Hugh Jackman and Rebecca Ferguson, The Resistance, where it made like 1 million opening weekend? It was like the lowest box office opening for a movie ever. It is,
man, that's like, lower than Black Adam.
Yeah, like Black Adam at least respectfully had like a $50 million opening weekend, something like that. Like, Warner Brothers has been making bad decisions. Remember the Day and Date thing we just talked about? That Hugh Jackman, Rebecca Ferguson movie? That was part of that. Yeah. I forgot what movie it was, but it made like a 2 million opening weekend. Horrible decisions these people are making. They're the ones that put them in this spot to be taken over by someone else. They made horrible decisions year in and year out, and we all kind of knew it was coming. We know what's coming. They had merger after merger. I truly will never understand why Discovery merged with them. Discovery was doing fine on its own. Someone lied to them about Warner Brothers being profitable to get Discovery to merge with them. That was just one of the biggest lies. Because why did Discovery merge with them?
Well, I think David Zaslav knew that Warner Brothers was holding a lot of debt.
Right.
like
Mhm,
when he did the merger with Warner Brothers. But I
mhm.
feel like Dave. So a lot of people aren't happy with David Zaslav, but I feel like he has done a better job than AT&T did.
Oh, for sure. I agree. I liked his streaming
AT&T
approach.
was a hot mess.
I feel like his streaming approach was really good because he was the guy where he didn't want to spend that much money on streaming because he had a quote where he was
Yeah,
like, "Why are we spending this much money when no one's watching this stuff?" I agree with him. Yeah, those are really good. I feel like, and keep in mind, HBO has only gotten more and more exponentially more subscribers and money since then. I do feel like he's not been all bad like people have said. He's done good things. It's just like they're they're in too much debt to really fix anything, unless you get bought out by someone. Now, what I want to ask you, since that just happened, what did you think about Paramount acquiring Warner Brothers? Because I don't think you wanted Netflix acquiring them, actually. Shaun, I think. Give me one sec. Uh, the Zaz was looking to sell Warner Brothers from day one. It's very possible, actually. Oh, Shaun. Oh, well.
yeah, I'm here. It's just that things froze up for a second.
Are you good? I wanted to ask you what was your thoughts and opinions on the Paramount merger with Warner Brothers? Because I don't think you wanted Netflix to get Warner Brothers at all. I mean, Netflix was, I guess, the only upside was they were going to pay all their debt off. That was like their only real upside. All the debt's just gone because they just have fuck you money. That's how big Netflix is, apparently.
Yeah. I'm not really sure. I
Mhm,
don't know which would have been the good answer. Like, I feel like Netflix, they would have probably done something with the Snyderverse in some form, and maybe done like an Elseworlds approach to it
mhm,
while continuing with like a main canon.
mhm.
But most of the stuff would probably be released on
Oh, okay.
Netflix and it would be on streaming, so it wouldn't be an event.
Mhm,
Um, at least Paramount wants to do like a number of movies, in theaters, and I'm not sure what they're going to do with like Paramount Plus and HBO Max if they're going to merge them, or keep both services. But we're going to have to see. Um, Paramount, the CEO David Ellison says that he's a big DC fan, so we're going to have to
how many
wait
times have
and
we heard
see if
that?
that's true by his actions.
How many times have we heard that? I'm the
Yeah.
hugest DC fan. Tom King executive. All right. Okay. What the heck? I feel like these things are just said only because they sound nice to
Yeah.
say to these people. Like that one executive member who was like, "Well, if Superman's planet blew up, how would he get back to it?" Well, he wouldn't because it's gone. And if he wanted to go to that part of space, he would just
He
fly.
wouldn't.
Yeah, he wouldn't. And if he could, he would just fly. What the fuck? Hello?
Like in the comics, he's been there numerous times.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like after the fact. So,
Oh, your dog's there
yeah.
finally.
I know, man.
Dog woke up from
Yo,
a
yeah,
nap.
that's Waldo.
Oh, good. Hi, Waldo.
Yeah.
Good lord, he's tired. They're about to go. They always sleep. They love. Goodness gracious, they're out for a while. How old is he? How old's the little guy?
He is 4.
Oh, okay. Paramount buying Warner isn't good for competition. Then again, the same could be said for anyone buying it.
Yeah, well, I mean, so after Disney like took Lucasfilm and Fox, and then Marvel, like, so yeah, everything is getting smaller, like your individual studios. So the the more studios that own other studios, it's going to get really really bland. Like if you have 2 studios making things for like all of these other IPs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well,
yeah.
because I think there was a lot of concern with Netflix and Paramount because I don't think a lot of people understand how these mergers kind of work, though. Because people don't understand, even both Netflix and Paramount, they really can't do what they want with Warner Brothers because there's already existing contracts and they're already going to be spending a lot of money to acquire the company. They're not going to want to spend additional money on top of that, shedding those contracts or buying them out because how like there's buyout clauses. They don't want to buy out those contracts right now. It's actually more financially cheaper if you just let the contracts run out. they expire. You either renegotiate with that person for a lower rate, or you gut those departments and you want to usher in your people in that department. Actually, because right
Yeah,
now, David Ellison could say, well, I'm going to keep DC intact the way I wanted to. Well, that's because James Gunn's contract, guys, ends in 2027.
yeah.
Come on, he can't, unless he just wants to straight up pay out James Gunn of his contract, which he doesn't want to do because they're already spending $100-something billion to get the company. That wouldn't make any good decision financially. It's not right.
Well, that
Mhm.
depends. So we're going to have time to see what Supergirl does. And
True.
then, I mean, that I know that he didn't direct it, but it looks like his fingerprints are all over it visually.
Mhm.
I mean, I know a lot of people have said this, and it's maybe kind of tongue in cheek, but it really does look like Guardians of the Galaxy like, and that's not what Supergirl is supposed to look like.
Mhm.
Um, and if that flops, that is a problem because Superman didn't even make any money at the box office. So their DC universe has not started off well at all. And so this is
Yeah, I agree.
this is something that this guy David Ellison name checked like supposedly 2 times in the earnings or the first call, like with the Warner Brothers like
Yeah.
studio heads and what have you. And James Gunn wasn't there, by the way. And so DC is just something so big that you're going to want to correct it as soon as possible. If honestly, they're going to need somebody that knows the source material, I think, to get this back on. Otherwise, they're just going to keep doing Batman movies and never do another like Superman, The Flash, whatever.
Right.
You know.
Because I think when it comes to DC, because when Paramount was announced that they were gonna be the one that wins Warner Brothers, a lot of people just basically went, same thing when Fox got acquired by Disney. What's gonna happen with Marvel? Because that
Yeah.
was the hottest thing at the time. And keep in mind, I agree with you. Superman did not bring them any profit. I firmly believe that movie brought them barely break even. And that's not even probably true either when you're looking at budget and marketing with that movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's this notion of people. So I'll do the second one, then I'll do the first point. So the second one is this weird notion, because let's say people like James Superman movie. Let's just say you liked it. And I thought it was okay. You guys, okay, fun. That's how you talk about movies. It's all subjective, right? A movie, you could like a movie and it could fail at the box office. Come on, a lot of you guys think The Thing is one of the greatest movies ever made. I agree with you. It failed box office wise. And I'm not saying box office is indicative of quality. That's a different conversation. But in this isolated aspect of this movie, a movie that cost around $200 million to make with $100 million in marketing, guys, and you do what, 2.5 times for what the break even point is. Keep in mind,
I would
that's
say
the break.
about 3 times.
Yeah. So if you do 2.5 or 3, that is the break even point. Keep in mind, when I'm talking about math, break even is not profit. Break even is you kind of just don't win or lose anything. You just break even.
The way I had it figured out at the time, I figured on a 225 box office, they would have had to have made 668 million to break even.
Yep.
And they didn't do that.
Yeah, that's the thing though, because I know the box office got like updated to be at like 624. People are like, but it made 624 now. That doesn't mean anything.
That means that they didn't even break even. They almost broke even, but studios aren't in the game of breaking even. They want profits.
That's the thing people are not getting though. If I keep in mind, Superman was in the making of 2 years, right? It was originally called Superman Legacy. Then they changed it to Superman, which I thought that was a weird name. Superman. What legacy has Superman built? Yeah, it's all nitpicky stuff that I do in my brain. But these guys, if they're investing $100 million, guys, do you think that making 650 is good enough? And keep in mind, because the average person is so fucking retarded, they don't think of like all these other different factors. Guys, Superman making 624. We need to break that down. Okay, so our theaters in this country take 50% of those ticket sales, and it's renegotiated lower or higher every year. It's probably higher than what it originally was because movies don't make money now. The international market, they take all their I don't know which cut number specifically because each country could be different. China takes a different cut. Russia can take a different cut. All the different cut. But keep in mind, it's all getting a cut. Everyone's got to get their cut, right? Then you must consider, right? I need to make my profit. What is the money that I get on top of this, right? Do you really think 624 is good enough? Take 50% off of that. Studios
No.
don't get 100% revenue from the actual number. That number you're seeing, the end result could mean a lot of different things, and it's different for each movie. And keep in mind, I know you got Terrence were doing videos on this. Remember when
Yeah.
literally the media was like, if this movie doesn't make $1 billion, is that a failure? But then 4 months later, after the number comes out, they go, that's good enough. You people are fucking paid off shills. What
Oh,
are
I
you
know.
doing here?
There was an article, I think, on
Was it Forbes or CBR?
Forbes. It was Forbes.
Mhm.
Forbes confirmed, and they broke it down. They broke it down saying, this is how much they lost, how much they invested. And I sent that article to Terrence, and I think Terrence made a video on it at the time. And then, like a week later, they recanted. So, I think somebody is like, giving like money to these places to shut them up.
They have to be getting paid off. And keep in mind, these people go, well, I'm okay with Superman making that much money. Guys, you didn't invest in it. You didn't pay for it. All you did was to support the box office, and you barely did that. And that doesn't amount to anything, obviously. No. Like, let me just make sure I have the correct numbers moving forward. But like, it's one of these things where, okay, guys, so the Flash needed 720 to break even with its budget and marketing. Okay, guys, how in the Flash mega failed. So the Flash needed 720 to break even, but Superman only needed 624 to make profit. That doesn't even make logical sense. They have the same budget and marketing. They're very similar. So I just don't get this with people. You like his movie, but that must automatically mean that it did financially well at the box office. What?
Yeah.
Hi, Waldo. Waldo, you're not on the show. It's not your show, Waldo. God damn it.
Waldo, get down. Get down. Yeah. It's some crazy stuff.
Because Supergirl, and keep in mind, you know what the media is saying now? Well, Superman's success, whatever the fuck that even means, is going to translate to Supergirl. No. That's not how it works anymore. That's not how the box office has worked in years. Look at Sony's movies. They thought Venom making 830, 860 meant that every other movie of that adjacent universe without Spider-Man was going to make that much money. No. And Venom had declining box office revenue. It only went down from the first one. And every movie
also
bombed.
Regarding Supergirl, keep in mind that this Supergirl is Supergirl from one comic book, like out of her entire existence. This is one person's interpretation, Tom King's Woman of Tomorrow. This is not 99.9% of this character in comic book history. This isn't even Supergirl from the Supergirl show, Melissa Benoist, who was pretty accurate as far as how she portrayed the character. The writing got a little trash towards the middle and end, but this Supergirl is not the Supergirl that everybody thinks they know, and that's a problem.
Yeah. Hey, if she gets a train ran on her, or she has sex with a lot of different black alien guys, I called it. Her name is Millie Alcock. Really?
Right.
Really? The jokes write themselves. Millie loves big cock. Really?
Yep.
These names, these names these days are so bad. But to be fair, I somewhat maybe think that Supergirl might be a better movie than Superman. I don't know right now.
I hope so.
I hope, because Superman to me was just okay. I potentially guess Craig Giuseppe is directing it, and keep in mind, James Gunn, definitely had his hands in there somewhere. I hope it's better than Superman. And keep in mind, I didn't hate Superman. I thought it was just all right. But was it the best start to the DC universe? Not really. I mean, it was an okay attempt, but you mess up on a lot of their different key things. Like, the best thing about that Superman movie is everyone praising Mr. Terrific. In Superman's movie, the best thing they praised about him was the secondary character. I will say this with James, with
and Guy Gardner.
Yeah, I will say this with Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. People did praise Henry. I didn't agree with it, but people did praise Henry Cavill's Superman performance. I didn't agree with it. I thought it was fucking bland, but at least in that movie, people praised the main guy of it. The only thing mainly praised in that movie is Guy Gardner is Mr. Terrific. That's not good, guys. That is bad. And hopefully in the sequel it can get better, but I don't know. Honestly.
Also, like James, like he came on with the air, like all of the word in the industry about him is that he was this DC Comics mega fan that knew the lore. and
Mhm.
we all thought, okay, this could be cool. Somebody maybe like Kevin Feige, in the early days. But James Gunn proved himself to have the most surface level knowledge of DC Comics lore. It's ridiculous. Everything that he's doing is something recent within the last 15 years in the comic books at most. So, like, they went back to the New 52 for the Superman style and stuff. The comic lines he's pulling from for the DCU are current. Woman of Tomorrow is like what, 3 years old?
Yeah,
Uh,
it's not been that long since it came out. Yeah.
yeah. So, like, this is showing his surface level knowledge. Yes, his film had a lot of Silver Age influence and feeling and look to it, but the script was very shallow.
Hmm. Also, I wanted to point out the thing you said about the comic book thing. Remember when he had his DCU Chapter One Gods and Monsters slate
Yeah.
reveal, and
Where's that?
well, yeah, that thing is just like my dad, left for Skittles and milk. But it's one of those things where he mentioned that the Batman Brave and the Bold movie was going to be based off of Grant Morrison's run. If you guys know
Yeah.
what Grant Morrison's run it basically is, essentially it's the run that introduces Damian Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the one where it's revealed that maybe retconned or whatever, Talia maybe graped Bruce in Minecraft allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
That, keep in mind, I'm not saying you're not allowed to like that story. I've only read a little bit of it. I have all that stuff over there. I've skimmed through a lot of it. I'm not saying his run is even bad. I don't even care if you like his run. I don't think that's the best run to start a Batman solo universe in a shared cinematic universe off. Keep in mind, guys, Grant Morrison, as much as I kind of like the guy, his writing is mostly praised for people that come in at a franchise at an entry point later. Like he's famous for like that new X-Men run that started after like
Yeah,
Claremont
right.
was over, right? Like, and keep in mind, he's influenced a lot of people. He has a lot of fans. I'm not even disagreeing with him when he felt, because with Superman movie, he had criticism about it. He said, I don't really feel like he felt like Superman was getting beat up the entire movie.
He
Shit.
was.
He was. He didn't win
I
a
mean,
single
I
fight the entire
understand that
movie.
I think James was trying to show you like what level of endurance that Superman had, but there was a better way to do that with have him getting
Right.
knocked down through the entire
Because
freaking
keep in
movie.
mind, James Gunn was always, because he said in an interview, this Superman is not going to be as powerful as the Superman that you've seen in previous iterations. It's like, but as much as people criticize Superman being that powerful, they simultaneously like when he's that powerful, though. Because what's the
Well,
alternative? Him being this weak? Because that's just bad.
yeah, but also he said it's funny he said that, but then like when they were in the pocket dimension towards the end of the movie,
Yeah.
when Superman's in that river of antimatter or whatever
Mhm.
it is, like he's holding up baby Joey so he doesn't get affected by the river of all
Yeah.
of that stuff, and it didn't affect Superman at all, but it would have killed like 90% of everything else.
Right, right. It's just one of these weird things where I don't know if starting off a Batman universe in the DCU is something that you need to do primarily from this reason, because
No.
it's like I just don't think that's the correct run to have as an entry point for a movie that is going to be something that people are going to look back on and go, wait, we started with this. And keep in mind, people kind of wanted a DC cinematic universe for the growth thing. You wanted
Right.
like you start from here with the character and then you get to this point with the character,
That's why, I mean, I understand. So James wants to start off with Grant Morrison's run because James says his favorite Robin is Damian.
Right.
But while I admit starting with him would give you the option to have the entire Bat family, and that would be cool from a cinematic type of aspect.
Mhm.
But what I really want him to do is start with Dick Grayson.
Mm-hmm. And keep in mind, when we do get that Batman movie, because even he has said there's been a lot of changes since that announcement based off that Batman movie that he announced. Well, yeah, I would imagine, because there's been no real updates about it. We know that Andy Muschietti is going to be directing it for the most part, right? Maybe. Christina Hodson is going to now write it, because he usually goes out on his like debunking spree. He didn't debunk that one. Actually, what he did was he went on Threads and went, she's a great writer, and a lot of people are just they're just envious and jealous that she can do it. Okay, so she's writing the Batman movie. Well, that's horrible.
She's also writing Wonder Woman, I think.
No,
she's writing 3 things.
That's Anna Nugaria. She's doing
Titans
and Wonder Woman. But Christina Hodson doing Bat, guys, that's terrible.
Keep in mind, Christina Hodson wrote The Flash.
great great quality we get in here these days. Hey, who's gonna write my Batman movie? The person who wrote The Flash.
But you know what?
Goddamn.
I'm not gonna hate her. I'm not gonna hate on her like 100%, only because we know the Flash was cut up so much. Like
Yeah.
there are 2 or 3 different versions of that movie somewhere at Warner Brothers.
Wasn't this like the 10th version they tried to get off the ground?
Man, it was going for so long. I lost count.
They wanted it to be like Back to the Future. I remember at one point, directors
Yeah,
and
yeah.
writers were all quit. Man, you knew that movie was going to be dumpster fire when it was revealed. Like, how many directors quit? Like 7? Fuck. God
Yeah.
damn. Hi, Michael. How you doing, man? So, I actually haven't updated my brain on the James Gunn Superman box office. So, from what I was getting, just as AI over, keep in mind, different publications might have different numbers, but it said
Right.
the marketing budget for James Superman is reported to be approximately $200 million, supporting a production budget of 225, bringing the total investment to over $400 million. That's
See, that's wrong. Warner Brothers even said they were investing like $50 to $100 million more in the marketing on this movie than they normally do, and that's why you saw him in ads with like Shaq. He was all over the place on TV. Like you think about all of the ads that were on TV, like social media at the time when this movie was coming out last year. He was everywhere.
Yeah, and keep in mind, guys, they were pushing this movie hard because this was their big coming out party for their new shared cinematic universe. And it says marketing spend estimates range from 100 million to 200 million on marketing. So even if I were to lowball these numbers, let's just say I lowball all of it. Let's just say I do 225 and I just do $100 million. Okay. Oh, what the fuck am I? Oh my God. Sorry. I'm black. I can't do math. That's how it works around here. Okay. Oh my God. Sorry. I'm adding these. Sorry. I can't do math. I'm black. Jokes. All right. 225 plus 100 million is 325, right? Then times the industry standard of 2.5. Okay. It needs $812.5 million to break even. That's not profit. To get profit, it would have to hit like $1 billion. So 990 would be like not $1 billion, 10 million off. We're good.
Wow, guys, that's crazy. See, that's even higher than I figured.
Guys, this movie made $618 million.
Yeah.
That's horrible. That's if I literally lowballed it, though. Even if I went like in rounder numbers, even if I went 200 plus, not minus, even if I went just 200 plus regular, it's 300 times 2.5. Even if I lowballed it to 200 and 100, it would need 750 to break even. It didn't like I just don't. The numbers aren't adding up. And then when Forbes, like you said earlier, they're saying things like, "Well, it made $100 million in profit." Where?
Mm-hmm.
Where? Also, if I don't see that anywhere, then I'm just gonna call bullshit. You have to. And people said, "Well, companies don't have to disclose that." They don't. But I can also go out of my mouth. No, I can call bullshit on that. I can also just go, "I don't believe you." Where's that thing where just because that they say something, I have to believe it though? Where does that come from? You know,
and you can't. It may have like so they might be fudging the numbers with like physical media sales, VOD sales, but anything that was not a theatrical run. This is what we're talking about. How much did it make in the theaters? And also keep in mind that James Gunn yanked it out prematurely because he wanted all eyes on Peacemaker season 2, which was a big failure as well.
Yeah, I heard that didn't do well, on the whole Nielsen rankings too. Also, Creature Commandos, because come on, the DC universe, because he said the soft launch was Creature Commandos, the big launch was Superman. The universe starts with Creature Commandos.
Yeah, you start the DCU with a cartoon. And I liked Creature Commandos. I thought it was fun.
A lot of people actually did. And keep in mind, DC's kind of known for animation, so that's when you theorize, you're like, that's not that bad because DC is known for this being better than Marvel.
But you don't start your universe with characters that nobody knows.
Yeah, that's the thing is like you do Creature Commandos when a Justice League type of franchise is set up where like all the individual main people have their movies going. Starting off the whole universe with Creature Commandos. Even though I heard good things about it, that's an odd thing. It's just very odd to do. This is your
so what you do is you do the MCU approach when everything is firing on all cylinders. That's when you do Guardians of the Galaxy,
right?
So that's when you would do like a Creature Commandos. But yeah, man, like you needed to come out swinging. And honestly, I think they should have started with Batman because Batman sells. So You know,
Yeah, I keep in mind, I don't mind the idea of starting with Superman, but I
but
think
that's what we did with the Snyderverse of the DCEU. Like, let's start
starting
with
with
something else.
yeah, I do think starting with Batman might have been the better approach if you wanted to launch a universe where if your first initial goal is gauging how much people are willing to spend at the movie theater, well, guys, they spent less money on this one than they did Man of Steel. Now, I do want to
Yeah,
also preference
that
in
is a fact.
context. Keep in mind, I do want to preference in context here. Box office for superhero movies has been pretty much very up and down, not consistent. But this movie losing out to Man of Steel is that doesn't look good because then to Snyder fans they're gonna be like, well, my one did better. Why don't I finish my universe? But those people are fucking insane. I was surprised people are still around asking for that nonsense. They thought, well, Paramount is gonna buy Warner Brothers. That means we get the Snyder first back.
Well, there are already rumors saying that DC has had rumors with Henry Cavill coming back to play Superman.
That's
Um,
crazy.
yeah, we reported on that on our channel too, like a
Mm-hmm.
week or two back. And if that's true, that shows you the little bit of faith or the low faith that they have in James Gunn's vision. And I don't even know how you would do that. Like would you continue the DCU with Henry Cavill instead of David, or would
Oh
you go back to the
God.
DCEU? Like, I mean, that would confuse so many people, man.
Yeah, like, or maybe it's going to be one of those Crisis on Infinite Earth situations that they were trying to
Oh,
build towards with
jeez.
Walter Amada's idea. Remember, there was a Walter
Yeah.
Amada idea. He wanted to have a Crisis on Infinite Earths where, like,
Mhm.
all the past iterations will have a big moment in a movie like that. It's just like, because after this, we have Supergirl and Lanterns trailer came
Oh,
out. What did you think about the Lanterns trailer?
that's not Green Lantern. Um, First of all, like, so here's my thing. Like, you saw the scene where Hal Jordan like started flying, like in his civilian
That looks
clothes.
so ugly. That looked
There
ugly.
was so what I noticed about James Gunn in Superman, okay, how Guy Gardner, he didn't have the green aura around him like a lantern normally does.
Hmm.
So he would do his construct, but there wouldn't be like the green outline around him. And so I think that's how they're going to say, well, that's how Hal Jordan's flying. But no. Also, I don't like the idea of Hal Jordan having a physical suit that you put in a closet, like it's hanging in the closet in the trailer. That that was canon in the late 50s for a little bit, but 90% of the history of the Green Lanterns has been made up of a suit that is a light construct from your ring. And so the user's been able to customize what it looks like by their willpower. So, yeah. This is like also Hal Jordan's from Coast City, which is in California. And in this trailer, Hal Jordan had like a southern accent. I'm like, what is going on here? And then the dude that's supposed to be the hardened Marine, John Stewart, he looks like a freaking fashion model, man. Like,
Mhm.
Jonathan Majors would have made an awesome John Stewart. Like physically, like I think performance wise, I think he would have hit it just out of the park.
Yeah, I think the a big problem is a lot of the different facets of it with the Lanterns trailer. So I think we did a video on it on like yeah, it was like Friday when I was with Jared and Jay Heat, and I think my big problem with it was it just didn't feel like it encompassed anything superhero to me, right? So I don't know what this is with Hollywood or any of these companies where they have a superhero property and this shit doesn't even feel like it's a superhero property. Like
Yeah, which it's funny you said that because check this out. I was watching a video and I forget the guy's name, but like one of the guys that he's a producer or like the showrunner of Lanterns. He said like it may have been Damon Lindelof. I don't remember, but
yeah,
he said the reason they called it Lanterns is because they thought Green Lanterns sounded stupid. So that shows you their amount of knowledge on the subject. So
mhm.
it's like you're doing a show from a comic book where these are space cops. They go from galaxy to galaxy, and you ground them on Earth for like a true detective looking. Like, no, man, this
Yeah,
this is gonna
hey,
flop so hard.
and keep in mind, I understand the perspective of well, guys, it that might just only be the first episode. Guys, I want you to understand things these days are competing for everyone's attention. Okay, trailers being good and marketing themselves as a worthwhile product for your attention and your time matter way more than what they used to back then. I'm not saying that trailers never were bad or good or any of that stuff. I'm just saying that in our current day and age, when you are marketing something, it has to grab people's attention because we know things are going to flop. They're not doing that thing they did back in the day where they just kind of watch stuff because that's kind of all we had. There's way more entertainment out there. There's way more things to do with our time. We're older now. We have money. We can do more things with our time.
Things cost more.
Yes. Also, to keep in mind, when it comes to this kind of thing, trailers are put out for the specific reason of marketing and advertising to grab your attention. If it doesn't grab your attention, that's why they put them out. That is the intentional ideals behind a trailer, to grab people, to make them watch the show. So when people say, oh, but you can't judge it by its trailer, actually, yes, you can, because that's what they're made for.
Terrence and I were just talking about this the other day. Like back in the 90s, they would give you like maybe one or two like 30-second trailers. That's it. Like, they didn't show you the entire movie in like a 5-minute extended trailer. You know, it's like you had 30 seconds, maybe to 60 seconds to get hyped for this movie and decide that you're just going to go on, wow, that looks awesome. You know, you knew nothing else about it. Like if you look up the first trailer for Independence Day from 96, like you didn't know much about this other than, holy crap, look at this alien invasion, you know, and then Will Smith, that he was a part of it. So, you know, everybody just went on, wow, this looks amazing. But yeah, man, trailers, there's the whole idea, like you said, of a trailer is to sell the product to the audience.
And if that trailer doesn't do a good job of selling the product, and keep in mind, guys, this is how you have conversations with people. You encompass good and bad and nuance. It's the thing that people can't do anymore. They don't want to have actual conversation. Their thing is, I must be either fully negative or fully positive. No, it's not how a conversation should go. A conversation should be, we encompass all aspects. So another aspect of the trailer you could leverage only in this, well, that's the first episode. They may, come on, this is all hope and may. You know, as you get older, hope and may becomes worthless until it actually happens. Hope and may. They may hope. People will say, I hope they come into this mystical, fantastical Green Lanterns that we think of. Hope. Yeah. I hope, and my feelings. Guys, when you get older, that shit don't mean nothing. Someone's hope and feelings. Either it's going to happen or it doesn't. And knowing current Hollywood, where they try to always subvert expectations with various directors and producers, I don't know. And keep in mind, yes, if the show eventually does become what people think it should be, keep in mind, that still doesn't make anyone any less wrong for criticizing how bad this first trailer is. Keep in mind, in one vein, I could go, you know what? The trailer was bad. I liked the show. Why can't I just do both those things? I could go, you know what? The trailer wasn't that good, but the show turned out to be what I wanted. Holy shit, what a concept. I
think this is going to get people to, I think this is going to get people to re-examine how they feel about the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern as well.
Oh no.
Because honestly, like I understand it was not a good Green Lantern film, but like the origin of like how Hal got the suit from Abin Sur, you know, all of that is canonical to his first appearance in the comics. So at least a little bit of that movie was accurate, and the way they did parallax and all of that stuff was trash towards the middle and the end, but it felt more Green Lantern like. They actually went to Oa in that movie. You saw the Guardians.
Doesn't it? It doesn't usually work in their mythos where if you become a Green Lantern, you get transported to Oa and Kilowog trains you. Yeah.
Well, not just Kilowog, but like Sinestro, like, you know, you get.
Yeah, the whole they kind of break you in. Yeah. I like Green Lanterns. I like that concept. I think it's a very cool concept. I like a lot of the characters. It's just one of these things where, I mean, I hope it turns out to be good.
I do too. Bad. I don't want anything to be bad.
Yeah, I don't think anyone intentionally wants something to just be a pile of horse shit. But
no.
What's this thing where these days you can't call out like red flags you see? But there's this one guy on Twitter, he was like, everyone's just dunking on it. Well, it was not. Okay, so if you see everyone dunking on something, just pointing out, maybe it wasn't that good. Maybe you should stop, not saying you, but maybe you guys should stop being shills and open your eyes to maybe it's not as good as you're thinking it is. You know, come on, you can have your own opinion. No one's saying you can't. But if the overwhelmingly majority of the conversation is swinging negative to something, that's probably a bad sign, because the trailer doesn't encompass that. Doesn't in the trailer, there's that part you remember where Jon Stewart is talking to him. He's like, "I'm more of a man than you'll ever be," something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that.
And then before Hal could respond to him, they cut it so it makes him look like a cuck.
Yeah. So what I always tell people when I have these conversations is if you have a tablet or an iPad, you can download DC Infinite. They offer a week free trial, and after that it's $7.99 a month. In a week, you can consume so many comic books. You can learn so much about Green Lantern or whatever else you want. And then you're going to be able to judge these movies and these TV shows with a little bit of knowledge, not just reading on Google and watching videos, but actually firsthand experience from the source material. And that's what really everybody needs to start judging these movies and shows by, in my opinion. But I'm a comic book reader.
Yeah, same with me. I mean, I know a lot about Green Lantern's mythos. I mean, I recently just today I recently bought the Green Lantern second compendium. It was in the creepy van driver and Jeff Johns rebirth run. I have the first compendium.
Okay.
Yeah, because the compendiums they made for that Green Lantern run are better mapped than the original omnibuses. And what's crazy with DC is they always do this though. They were releasing these comic books and collected editions in book format, and they were doing it for the Jeff Johns, Ethan Van Sciver Green Lantern run. And they got to like book 4, and then fans were like, "Hey, that's map bad. Can we get a different format?" So just stop that whole format. They didn't even finish it out. DC has to stop doing that. Stop doing that. Stop producing books in a certain format and then stopping them. But they're gonna keep doing it because sales and bullshit like that. But today I bought the Green Lantern second compendium for that run. Also, I read Jeremy Adams' Green Lantern run. Guys, just read Jeremy Adams' Green Lantern run, Back into Action Volume 1. It came out for Dawn of DC. It's like $8, $5 you can get it for. It's a great story for Green Lantern. Great jumping on point for people who might not know a lot about anything about this kind of universe with Green Lantern. You could jump in, read it, have a great time with it. That gave me a better idea of what Green Lantern is than whatever the fuck that trailer was. And understand, guys, the show's only
Also,
8 episodes.
If I can, I want to answer a question. Was Silver Age Hal Jordan trained on Oa? Yes, he was. Silver Age 1959 or 1960, somewhere in there. He was trained on Oa.
And this other thing of, oh my goodness, people, they're just so weird. It's like, for some reason, I like to call them Snyder. People call them Snyder tards, the Snyder fans. If you criticize the Lanterns trailer, then people just think you're a Snyder fan. I was like, what? But if you criticize, but if you love what James Gunn's doing, then you're a James Gunn fan. It's like, why are we getting put in these boxes though? Someone said I'm a Zack Snyder fan. When I called another person a shill, MSK, the Zack Snyder fan. Really?
Right.
I've never been called. That's a new one for me. Fuck
yeah,
it.
Man.
That's surprising. I like Zack. All right. But that's weird too, because these weird DC fans, these cringy, no job people, definitely just have their mom pay their cell phone bill. These weird, just crazy people, these weird parasocial morons are sitting there going, everything this universe does is the best thing ever. How can anything get better if you think like that? Everything is really good. So nothing can get better by that logic then. It's like, that's terrible. These people have to suck off James Gunn for whatever reason. Keep in mind, if he does something you like, that's fine. I'm just saying that not every single thing he announces and says is good. That's ridiculous, you know?
So the collection that you got, does it include Blackest Night?
That should be the next one. The next compendium should have Blackest Night, because an
Blackest Night
format,
was awesome.
It's Blackest Night was in its own omnibus. So I'm pretty sure that's the second one. Hey, I can't wait to get that one, because that's Blackest Night's and that's one of Chef's Kiss stories. Actually,
it's a great read, man.
Never gonna get that. Hey, you know what's crazy with that Lanterns trailer? If you guys want to figure out, the guy that's playing Hal Jordan, it's not contracted to be in anything else. If he dies in that,
that's gonna be.
That's our Green Lantern, one and done for Hal Jordan. Well, thank God.
It looks like they're trying to set up Jon Stewart to be the Lantern of Earth, and I'm fine with Jon Stewart.
It's fine. I like Jon Stewart. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that Hal Jordan deserves better than that too. Yeah. Also, you have to also take in consideration that James Gunn, after Superman came out and people responded well to Guy Gardner, he made them rewrite the show and put Guy Gardner in the show. So it's been rewritten and refilmed partially at least twice. So expect to see a lot of Nathan Fillion in there as well.
Mhm. Also, this was the show that Jeff Johns and a lot of those other CW people wanted to do for a little bit, but then that got
Yeah.
basically reworked and canned because of the whole merger, and then we've got it
Mhm.
finally with James Gunn. It's like, yeah, because you have David Lindelof who's writing, executive producers like Tom King. It's
Yeah.
like, God. I
Keep
mean,
Tom King away from the universe.
like I want this universe to be good. I do, but you know how like so it's like Monday we were doing this like good point bad point thing for the MCU post
Mhm.
Endgame. I wanted to
Ooh.
do that Monday, good point, bad point, where someone has to bring a good point and a bad point for the DCU. I was trying to think about a good point I liked about the DCU. I couldn't come up with one. I couldn't come up with something that I genuinely liked so far.
Yeah, they don't. So let's look at it. I've seen everything. All right. So I've seen Creature Commandos, Superman, Peacemaker season 1 and 2, and that's it, right?
That's it. That's all it is right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So Peacemaker season 1 was fun. Um Peacemaker is better in the Peacemaker show than he is in the DC comics.
Mhm.
Um Peacemaker season 2 was trash. Creature Commandos was good. Superman was okay. So I can't really point to a good point. I can't even point to, man, yeah, like, so the colors were popping in Superman, and I really do appreciate that, like, post Snyder, because Snyder was so bleak. But
Yeah.
I can't even say that, man, that Superman suit was like, you saw the colors, and yeah, you saw the colors, but you also saw the collar.
What's up, Tony?
What's up, Tony? You saw the Kingdom Come style
Yeah.
logo. I mean, yes, it was cool to see the yellow S on the back of the cape again. We haven't had that since Christopher Reeve in '87. But man, the people that James Gunn has doing the suits for the DCU is the same person that he used at Marvel, and you can tell because these suits look like suits from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Hmm.
And that's not what you need for DC, man. You need like the flowing capes, the big S on Superman's chest, like it is in the comics. You need to go back to basics, man. After you need to, so, and this is my issue too. So we also have Matt Reeves doing the Batman too.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm tired of these realistic, gritty takes on Batman. Yeah, Batman can be grounded and it worked, but you have to remember, like, he has one of the most fantastical rogues gallery in DCU.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make him dark, but you also make him fantastical. And there's like the League of Shadows or Assassins. I mean, Ra's al Ghul. All of this stuff,
Rick, yeah.
mystical,
Hmm.
right? So you know, uh, I don't even know, honestly, dude. I don't even know if we're gonna get to see Batman in the DCU before
I
they
feel like the
do a
universe is going to
restructuring.
go the way of the Sony Spider-Man universe. At one point, the movies are just going to be doing so bad. Might be by
Mm.
2027. If Man of Tomorrow does similar numbers to what the Superman movie before it did, we might be looking at curtains, guys, because you can't justify spending this much money on. Guys, Supergirl might actually only make like $300 million,
If it,
three,
I mean,
maybe 350, if I'm being really generous.
because what are people saying about it right
What's like,
now?
yeah, what's the actual draw of Supergirl? Jason Momoa's Lobo? Oh, another issue we keep running into, someone else being the draw and not the main character. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
and I think Lobo is a cool character, and Jason Momoa looks great as Lobo, but that's not going to get me to spend my money to go see the movie in the theater.
Yeah,
You know?
like you brought up Matt Reeves' Batman. I mean, hey, you guys know how I feel about that movie. It's not that I didn't like it. It's the same thing like with James the Superman movie. I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. Colin Reader says I have a lot of Batman stuff. I love
Yeah,
Batman. It's when people said it might not come out for a sequel, I was like, I didn't care.
yeah,
Nothing in that movie knocked in my noggin to be like, I want a sequel. I honestly really don't want a sequel. I just kind of want this point, maybe a third retry. I think it's coming at some point. That's my hot
mm.
take. But I like, what is the allure attraction of Matt Reeves' Batman Part 2? People said, well, Penguin made me appreciate it more. Because I hear the take a lot.
Mm.
Penguin makes people appreciate Matt Reeves' movie more. Okay, so Matt Reeves didn't make you appreciate his movie on its own in a TV show that came out that was better written, potentially. I haven't seen it, but that's what you guys say. made you like another movie? Oh, good lord, Jesus Christ!
So
We keep running into other people's shit making you better, not the main guy
right.
doing it.
I personally hated the Batman. I think it is the worst Batman live action movie. Even I will put Batman and Robin, George
Oh,
Clooney, over it.
that's the hot take tonight.
Fatality.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Since that came out,
Mhm.
and everything that we've seen with the last part of the DCEU and how the DCU has started, I'm kind of actually looking forward to the Batman 2 more so than I am anything else that James Gunn has announced yet that he has in production for the DCU.
Right, right. I Batman was boring and a miscast to me.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I I wanted to like it. I wanted to like the idea of them basically kind of doing like that approach of essentially having another universe out there that's maybe in its own pocket dimension Batman style. It's like I didn't really think the Batman was all that good though. I feel like the cast was good. I feel like minus Robert Pattinson as Batman, I didn't like Andy Serkis Alfred at all. I thought that was the worst
No,
Alfred. That was a terrible
but
Alfred. Andy Serkis can act. What is going on with that guy? He can't
but
do
it made
Alfred.
money though. It made MSK. It
Sadly,
made
it did.
money, and
It
so
did. Yeah.
James Gunn, he doesn't want that heat. You know, like when
Mhm.
it comes to the Brave and the Bold, he doesn't want. So he has no control over Matt Reeves.
That's true.
Matt Reeves falls under
He
Pam
has that
Abdi.
first look deal. He did his own thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So he doesn't want that heat from the Batman 2 and potentially Batman 3 up against his Brave and the Bold when his DCU is not doing any profits.
Yeah, I'll ask you guys all in the chat too. Really think in your brain. You know how we did good point, bad point for the MCU post Endgame? Do that in your brain right now for good point, bad point for James Gunn's DCU. Give me a good point and then give me a bad point. And I know you're going to give me the bad point because there's no good points. What is the good point of this universe so far? I don't have anything.
One thing I can say is a good, like, well, I won't say it was a good
Lois
point,
Lane is hot.
That was, I was going to say, Lois Lane, she was the highlight for me because she, I'm trying to think of the actress's name, but Marvelous Miss Maisel. So she looks and acts like Lois Lane. You know, like so. Amy Adams, she's a great actress, but she was not a great pick for Lois Lane.
Yeah.
And so yeah, my favorite Lois Lane is still Erica Durance from Smallville. I think she had the spunk, she had the personality, but Rachel, whatever her name is, the Lois Lane in Superman, I think she's really, really good.
Good. Superman is the center of the universe. I guess that is
true.
Yeah. Bad, a whole lot of other shit. So basically, Superman being the center, everything else sucks. Good lord.
So we know from watching Superman, he's been active for 3 years at the time of that movie. Okay.
Yeah.
So in that time, you've read Batman comics. Batman would be upping him with a microscope.
Oh yeah.
You know, he would be like, he would have him under all kinds of surveillance. And so I think instead of if James Gunn does not at least show Bruce Wayne in Man of Tomorrow, that's a huge L. That is a fail.
Isn't David Cornsweet, they were reshooting some of the movies so he could have like some scenes in there. And keep in mind, these cameos he's making might only be like, I don't even know, flashbacks, maybe. Like maybe he's gonna be part of an end credit scene, maybe. But like I feel like I don't want to say this because the same thing has been being said currently with Matt Fraction's Batman run and the current Batman ongoing series from DC Comics. Things are kind of circling the drain. It kind of feels like the universe is kind of circling the drain currently. Guys, we just started. We just started last year.
We just started with the first movie. You know, it's like how we can't circle the drain yet, man.
Oh God, like when James, I did see Peacemaker season 1. I did like Peacemaker season 1, but I remember with like the ending of Peacemaker season 2 was getting talked about on social media, and then James Gunn was like, "Well, we're gonna just take the concept of this and use it," and it's like, but that's not even something that like this is a concept. It's like, ooh, that's such an odd, obscure thing. Like, oh God.
Yeah.
I forgot what book he was talking about, but it's like this book where the villains make like a paradise or some shit. But like
it's I've got it I've read it. I've got it in my history here. It is Salvation Run.
Yep.
So yeah, so it's Salvation Run. It came out in 2007. So it is a planet that like Amanda Waller and the people sent all of the villains after they did their atrocities, get them off of Earth. So this is basically a planet prison.
What's like a Planet 12,
So
but for villains?
kind of.
Okay.
So yeah. So this is where they're sending all of the villains in the Salvation Run back in
Mhm.
2007 to get them off of Earth and out of people's lives. So the DCU just started. If you're going to tell me so both answers are going to suck. Okay, but if you tell me that Peacemaker is on Salvation Run and it's empty of no villains, well, what's the point? And then two, if you're going to tell me like all of the villains are already on Salvation Run, we've missed all of that, that's going to piss me off. So
So you basically get none of the build up to lead to that, and then you're gonna get all of the cheap no build up if they're all there.
right.
Okay, guys, we are circling the drain here. This is bad. This is not good. This ain't good. I mean, I yes, keep in mind, I'll do what you guys always tell me to do. I'll hope Supergirl is good. Because apparently, like when someone says, "Oh my god, this movie made me feel feelings," because that's quantifiable for anything in life, feelings, obviously. But this movie made me feel stuff, guys. It made me do things in my brain. It's like,
You know what? Like so it made me feel hopeful as a DC fan, like for the first time watching it, in quite a while.
mhm.
But like it does not have like high rewatchability for me.
Yeah.
Like
Uh to be
I
fair,
put
not
it
just
on, like yeah,
oh,
go
oh,
ahead.
sorry, you're good. No, I was actually agree with you. I think to be fair, that's a lot of movies these days. Like you really think about the movies you've
Sure.
watched, it's like you wouldn't willingly rewatch it. Very few movies I would willingly go back and rewatch these days. They did
Mhm.
some of that standout moments, but
Yeah.
I'll just watch the standout moments on YouTube scenes.
Well, yeah, and that's really what it is. Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you about Clayface. Clayface is coming up, and apparently that's not going to have Batman in it, even though
Yeah. See, that's another huge fail that James Gunn
yeah.
is doing. Like he's introducing a Batman villain before they actually introduce Batman. So first of all, so I don't like the idea of the villains getting their own movies. I thought the Joker was a mistake, even though it made a lot of money.
Mhm.
That was good for DC, but these villains don't need they're the rogues gallery. They make appearance in Batman's movies.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm saying. Like if you've got to introduce at least Bruce Wayne in Man of Tomorrow. Otherwise, this is going to all be so stupid. If you have Batman make a cameo in Clayface, okay, but that's how you're going to introduce the Dark Knight as a
Mhm.
cameo? Come on.
Yeah, because keep in mind, from what I remember, Creature Commandos last episode, there's a art
There is
silhouette.
an animated cameo of Batman standing on a roof, looking through like the glass tiles on the roof.
I
But
said the same thing too. But the only saving grace of Clayface is the
mm,
idea it's going to be a body horror. It's going to be made on a lesser budget. Keep in mind, horror movies typically ink a better profit than bigger movies because there's higher
yeah,
profit margins in their lower budget, lower market. Keep in mind, that's not a bad strategy as far as money wise. That's actually a very good strategy. The problem with that comes down to that's just isn't that just Sony's approach to their movies? A villain movie without a hero in it? Which keep in mind, I've not seen it work,
yeah,
but it could come on, that Joker movie, the first one I'm all right with it. I like a lot of it. I like a lot. There's a lot bad with it. It was overall, I think it was solid for me, but I don't think that needs to always be the approach though. Like, what is this approach where we're gonna have the iconic villain not be there with the hero? So who's that villain facing himself? It's gonna be, well, turns out I was the real villain. Well, it's like, fuck. All right. I guess we were all villains the whole time.
I so what I would do is I would just follow the episode of Batman the Animated Series that like showed his backstory. So I
Right.
forget which Clayface it was, but he was the one that was an actor.
I remember the story. Yep. It's really
And
good. It's really
so he
good.
could
Yeah.
change his appearance.
Yeah. I remember the
Yeah,
animated
so
series
I
where he
would do
dumped.
that, and
Mhm.
and you could lean into the body horror.
Yeah, remember in the animated series, the episode where they
Mhm.
come on, they were censored a lot on Fox Kids. They were showing the shadow of him that's him getting dumped in his mouth. Oh, it was amazing. Clayface actually is a really interesting. I like him as a villain. I think he's been a very underutilized villain for the most part.
Yeah,
It's just we've seen these movies without that corresponding main hero not do well. I mean, only Venom and Joker have done well without the main heroes. And keep in mind, the sequels to those did worse and worse. With I don't know how those got sequels,
Yeah.
but just and keep in mind, Joker and Venom in theory could hold a movie, but I think based on popularity itself could get you some money, and they did get you money. But then you factor in where's the substance in that? Do people remember that Venom movie? It was pretty bad. The Joker movie, it was, there's a lot in my.
It was
It was
okay.
okay. It was a lot to like, a lot to hate, but was it really worth it? Was the juice really worth the squeeze? Was that really worth the effort to make a villain movie like that?
No.
I don't think the effort was. Come on, because in the grand scheme of things, what is Clayface going to do? Well, they're going to probably be like, well, it introduces like rogues galleries and other bad elements of Gotham. You could just do that in the Batman movie, though. You could literally just do that in a Batman movie, introducing bad elements of Gotham and a rogues gallery. Why do I need a Clayface movie for that?
Absolutely.
Why don't you do a Catwoman
That's
by
the
that
proper place to do it.
Why don't you do a Catwoman movie then by that logic then?
They did. Like with Halle Berry.
Unless you count that animated one where she was facing off against Black Mask or some shit. It was connected to like Young Justice or whatever. That one was well, it was a movie. See, Waldo doesn't want a Clayface movie either.
No, he's a hater.
Wouldn't it be easier to just do the Golden Age version of Clayface where he's just a normal guy who wore makeup? Because keep in mind, if it's gonna be made on a lower budget and body horror, they're probably gonna do mostly practical effects. I don't mind that. Come on, I don't mind that as an idea. And keep in mind, we've always said these movies need to have a lower budget too. It's like they got two things right and then went and did 5 things bad. Because keep in mind, if Clayface fails at the box office, guys, the main thing will be, why is there a Batman villain movie without Batman? Shit, fuck me. What was it with those Spider-Man movies? It fit a Spider-Man villain movie without Spider-Man. Gee, I can't. Warner Brothers. Oh my god! And people wonder why they got merged and taken over. The decisions are so bad. They hurt my brain. So literally, Sony failed at doing this, and then they went, "We can do that." All right, brain fried.
I mean, whatever. Yeah.
But a few more things I'll ask you before we head out of here. I know it's late for you. Well, really quick, Brand New Day. Are you excited to watch Spider-Man Brand New Day coming up in a few months here?
Yeah, I am. I think it could be cool. So you've got like the Punisher, isn't it? And I think another character, I can't remember. Is it Hulk?
Yeah.
And also the redhead female from Stranger Things, the character she's gonna play, whether it's gonna be like a legit Mary Jane Watson or
thank God.
Right, or she's gonna be Jean Grey from the X-Men, we'll have to wait and see.
Will that be his love interest? Because he hasn't had, he's always, Tom Holland Spider-Man has only had African American love interests. Even in that very first Homecoming movie, his love interest was a black girl. He loves his chocolate, man.
Right, Liz, right?
Yeah, it was Liz. Yeah, people forget he loves. Tom Holland love his black chicks.
Yeah,
man, not me, but it's all good. It's all good, Tom. Hey, we all have our preferences, but hey, I think the only big issue I might have at Brandon, why are we gonna? Because people say Sadie Sink has been casted as Jean Grey. Jean Grey introduced in a Spider-Man movie, not an X-Men movie. That's just so odd and weird.
It is odd.
I don't think she's gonna be Jean Grey. There's no way. She can't be. That makes no sense. Why is Jean Grey in a Spider-Man movie? I'm not saying she can't be in a Spider-Man movie, but like her coming out party is in a Spider-Man movie.
But I don't even think that they're going to make her Mary Jane Watson, because they recently like doubled down on some stupid things that are basically they're taking back what they said, that MJ was not Mary Jane, but
you're right. That could be Mary Jane. That could be the Mary Jane that we think in our minds, because she's not light skin or black.
Well, she's also going to have red hair. Zendaya's going to have red hair in this Brand New Day. So, if come on, just tell us that's Mary Jane.
Right. I don't know what
Michelle Jones. Come on.
Oh, Black Cat. She could be Black Cat.
She could. I mean,
that's the only one I would.
She could be. Oh man, there was Star. Oh geez, there was a cartoon like back in the day, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and there's a redheaded superhero female that was in that with him too, and I can't remember her name.
You excited for Doomsday?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of looking forward to it because
Mhm.
Marvel has been doing some stupid stuff for like the past 6 years, but I feel like Doomsday has, with all the money and all the talent that they have put into this movie, the Russo
Mhm.
brothers coming back after hiatus, I think it has a very high chance of being good.
Yeah, Doomsday, because with Marvel, all that other stuff is going to come into play. So, any other movies you're looking forward to this year coming up, not super related, like any horror,
Mm.
sci-fi stuff, like Star Wars?
The movie that I'm looking forward to most this year, and I think it's going to be a wrap for every other movie that comes out, is Michael.
Oh, okay, yeah. Uh I might go see that. It depends. I don't really trust modern Hollywood with like portraying people's like lives
Hmm.
in the most accurate way. What about
But the family's been involved pretty heavily too. So
whole thing? That's good. What about Mandalorian and Grogu? Not gonna see that. Nah.
I have zero interest in that, man.
Star Wars just not doing it for anyone. I don't think that's for anyone anymore, honestly.
I mean, I like the series that they had on Disney Plus like a year ago with the
Oh,
kids.
bad. It was like Bad Batch or something like that.
I forget what it was called, but it was kind of, it was like it felt like an old 80s Steven Spielberg type of movie, like with the
Hmm.
kids and stuff,
Yeah,
So yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, man, Star Wars, I don't want anything new Star from Star Wars. They've screwed it up so badly.
I need more space lesbians. That's what I need. So
Yeah.
last few things I'll ask you. First thing is, do you have anything planned coming up you would like to let the audience know about? Anything you're going to be working on for your YouTube channel now that you and Terrence have teamed up?
Oh man, we're always cranking out new content. Like, so we meet up every Thursday to record new content for the channel, and so we're gonna meet up tomorrow and we have our topics and stuff. So yeah, we always have stuff coming out daily, multiple times a day on the channel. So
Mhm.
definitely stop by. We're on our way to hit our second year channel anniversary in April, and we're already like 1,400 over what we expected to be at subscriber wise. So,
All right.
'cause- yeah,
I'll say last thing is, well, keep in mind, you guys have been doing very good content on there. Also very I'll say, like, Terrence, I haven't talked to him in a while. Hopefully he's doing pretty good.
yeah.
Good old black man. Good lord. I know he was not happy with the direction the DC has been going with James Gunn. Good lord.
No,
Yeah,
no,
he's
he's
not
not.
been happy.
He's not been
That
happy
guy.
with Marvel either.
Yeah, to be fair, I think that's the thing too. Is like you would think with DC having a new universe that would make Marvel want to do better. It's like, but I think in the back of Marvel's head, even though as bad as they are, you know what? You're DC. You're probably never gonna do it right, so it doesn't matter anyway. It's so bad. They need
They've been,
competition. You know.
they do because a healthy DC is going to make Marvel want to be better
Mhm.
and compete. So yeah, man. Kevin Feige, I think at this point he's just like, man, there's nothing that DC can do to touch the legacy of the MCU right now. And he's right, man. The MCU is
Yeah.
almost 20 years old.
Yeah, after Doomsday comes out this year, they'll be on their 41st movie. They'll be on their 41st movie
It's
going.
crazy, man.
Yeah, and the new cinematic DCU is circling the drain with a year in.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. That's Hey, but don't worry guys, we're going to get Supergirl cuz that really I watched the Supergirl trailer and I went, "Meh." That's what I did. Eh. I'm
I
not
don't
feeling anything. Maybe I'm
I'm
getting
I'm not.
empathetic to these things. I'm getting old. Things don't do it for me like they used to sometimes. Maybe it just depends. Maybe it just depends on the property though. Maybe they're just not doing enough good decisions that excite me. Like they're not doing enough to excite me as a fan to make me want to be excited for this stuff. You know?
Because even the Super Bowl trailer of The Flash, that was a great trailer for
It
a
was.
bad movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it that was making a lot of rounds on social media, but of
Mhm.
course you saw what the box office was, and we were in the pandemic at the time, so but still,
Mhm.
that was still a really good trailer.
Mhm.
And Supergirl trailer it sucked.
Yeah, the Supergirl trailer, it was nothing in it did anything for me. And people are like, but these are just teaser trailers. You know what's crazy? Okay, if with that logic, they're just teaser trailers. Now, if this stuff fails, and you guys blame the marketing because the marketing is always blamed when something it doesn't really do as good. Huh? Hmm. Maybe that's what trailers are for, to excite people. And then you blame the marketing, which is checks notes, the trailers, and the ads.
Mhm.
Crazy concept here, people. My God, you guys just annoy me. But don't worry, I deal with all of you these
What
days.
I find the most funny, when you talk about like Twitter and stuff, when Superman was about ready to come out, all of these new Twitter handles just opened like DC fan,
Yep.
one whatever,
Mega
and
DC fan forever. Yeah.
they're all over the place, and they're doing all these fan casts and stuff for these characters like Raven,
Mhm.
and Teen Titans, which I know that has been announced, but it's like, bro, calm down. Like, we are probably never going to get to the Teen Titans the way things are going right now.
Yeah. Dude, happens with Wonder Woman right now. Everyone is fan casting a Wonder Woman. Guys, we might not even get a Batman movie.
Yeah,
Forget that Wonder Woman movie. I'm not saying she doesn't deserve it, but it's
she
like
does. Yeah,
the whole Paradise Lost. Remember what has
yeah.
happened with Paradise Lost? James Gunn was like, it's not canceled. Has anything happened with it? No.
Well,
Oh.
yeah, and the Amanda Waller show wasn't supposed to be canceled either, but it is.
Yeah, people are like, well, we got to change to Peacemaker season 2. Peacemaker season 2 was
No,
already going to happen. It was already confirmed to
yeah,
happen. So this, oh, but people just, God Lord. Well, you know what? By 2028, if this universe is over, then I'll probably be married and having sex with a hot wife at that point. Maybe.
maybe.
Maybe I'll own the giant size, or maybe I'll own Uncanny X-Men Volume 1 by Chris Claremont. That
Hmm.
that literally costs almost $300 just for a book one. We can
Was
find
that
that
the
shit in Marvel.
one from the early '90s?
The giant size X-Men
Yeah.
debut book, actually, because even they only reprinted the original X-Men Volume 2. Like the X-Men Volume 1, the first with their first appearances, that's already like $250. There's like one reprint and all this stuff. Oh,
So the one, if
crazy.
that's the one from the early '90s, it was the X-Men #1. I think it was
That's
Chris
Jim Lee's
Claremont.
X-Men #1 with Chris
Oh,
Claremont. Yeah.
oh yeah, it's the best-selling comic of all time.
They just reprinted that in an omnibus called X-Men Blue and Gold.
Okay.
One of the only books I ever pre-ordered. I knew that was going to sell out. I pre-ordered. I was like, I gotta have this. I'm gonna do the next one that's coming out very soon for that same thing. But I love comic books, and last thing I'll say here before we head out. The very last few things. First thing is this is the only medium where people advocate for less faithful adaptations. Have you notice that
Yeah.
in book fandom when they get movies to books? Sorry, when books become movie adaptations, or when an anime becomes an anime or an anime movie or whatever, those fans are very stern in wanting to keep things faithful. This is the only medium from a medium going from one place to another where they want less faithfulness and then wonder why people's perception on characters are bad. It's like that's because they don't. It's really simple, guys. Not following the source material does that. That's what happens.
Yeah, I agree with you because you can't. So a lot of people that are starting these accounts and they're having these opinions,
Mhm.
their only experience with DC characters is like a cartoon or a movie or a video game.
You can have your jumping on points. That's fine.
And
Everyone has
that's
those.
fine, but you have to
Yeah.
remember that these three mediums, the cartoons, the movies, and the video games, they cherry pick so much. It is like a brief dossier on the character. Like it is an overview when you look at the grand scheme of things. Like, we have not, in all the Superman movies we've had and all the Batman movies we've had, we have not gotten like super deep into the world, into the characters.
Oh, yeah. I just think when fans are advocating for less faithful adaptations, that is just telling these people that are at these studios that it's okay to just bastardize everything. If
Yeah.
that's what you want, less faithful, well, good. Then you have that with Lanterns, then, which might be essentially just because keep in mind, True Detective. Come on, because this show is based on True Detective. These kids haven't even watched that show. They don't watch TV. They watch like TikTok or something. Do you think they've
Yeah.
watched True Detective?
And if you wanted to do like a detective style show, you could have
Wouldn't that
used
would question be that?
the question. I was just going to say the question. Give
Yeah.
him a TV show because the question is a very cool character. A lot of
Mhm,
people don't know him too much, but they would probably remember him from Justice League Unlimited.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, you just don't do that with space cops.
Yeah, we'll see how things go. We'll probably have you on again closer to around when Supergirl or Lanterns comes out, or you want to be on the panel show at some point when we can make it
Sure.
happen. So, last thing, last man, is do you have any what the heck am I? I'm old. Do you have any shout outs and give to anyone in particular and anything else you want to say before we head out?
Oh, no shout outs in particular. But thanks for having me, man. And I'm right now I'm just reading comic books. I'm looking forward to like reading older storylines, like because the new DC. I mean, a lot of people like this Batman run, but
With
it
Matt
is so
Fraction.
yeah, it is just so boring to
I
me.
got to issue 3 currently. We'll be reviewing issue 4 next week with Dingistan. It's it's all right at best. And come on, guys, I
Yeah,
don't want that for Superman or Batman. That was my problem with James Gunn Superman movie. It's okay at best for me
right.
personally. I don't want that for Batman Superman. Any of my favorite characters ever, I don't want just okay. I don't just want an okay Spider-Man movie. I don't just
No.
want an okay Thor movie, Iron Man movie, a Batman movie, or Superman movie. I don't want just okay. I'm not okay with that. These are premier big characters here. Like
Yeah.
Matt Fraction's run, keep in mind, it could be getting better past what I've read. I haven't read the first 3 issues, but like, why are we having scenes in a Batman comic book where Batman's talking about police brutality divides us? Like, not the cop, not the criminals doing that. The
This
cops
is a
are doing
character that like will take you up to death. Like he won't kill you, but he's gonna make you wish you were dead. Like if you're
yeah,
a criminal.
yeah.
Like this character talking.
What about the Absolute Universe? Have you dabbled in any of that?
I've looked at it a little bit, but I am so with the state of comics right now, I am so afraid that just because the Absolute Universe has its little pocket fandom, that
Mhm.
DC is going to look at that and be like, "Oh, let's change this to our main canon." You know, I don't know.
Yeah, and come on, I like Absolute Batman, and I like what I've read so far. I've dabbled in some of the other stuff, but at least it's not doing it main continuity wise. Because hey, that's what you get. You want to have your own universe, random one. You can do your own stuff. Good, as long as that stuff doesn't affect main continuity, it's fine. Because don't worry, there's enough bad writers to do that on their own. You don't
And
need.
then Absolute Green Arrow looks like it's going to be. I mean, he's going to be a zombie Green Arrow.
That one's weird because
Yeah,
Oliver apparently is already dead.
yeah.
Black Canary's gonna so who's Green Arrow? That's like, oh my god. All right, okay, we'll do
Well,
this little
it's
mystery
going to
game.
be like so. I read the synopsis of it
Mhm,
last week, and it's going to be so Oliver was killed off in the pages of another Absolute storyline. I forget which one it was,
mhm,
but so he is going to be he's going to come back to life as a zombie Green Arrow, um, and he's going to be going after like the millionaires and the people that had him killed, basically,
mhm.
from if I can remember correctly. So it sounds very weird. I say go read Green Arrow Year One, and that was the origin they used for the Stephen Amell show.
Mhm.
Um, and it's really good. And then go back and read some older Green Arrow stuff. But
Like he looks like he's possessed by like the specter or something. I'm not saying it doesn't look bad. It's just like I don't know. It gives off red flags when they're having Black Canary look like a dyke. You
yeah.
know, like it's and I come on. I don't know. I'll check out the first issue. I'll read it. I'll review it. I'll see what it's about. But it's like, yeah, because I know DC just finished its knockout event. Were you reading
Mhm.
any of that?
No, I was planning to do it, and I've heard some good things about DCKO, but I haven't got around to it yet. I
There's just a lot of
tried.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I read the synopsis the other day, and it just sounded like things they've done in the past already with War World. You
Hmm.
know, so it is a very unoriginal idea when you look at it, but people are saying good things about it. But a lot of these people are people also that have not read like Silver Age, Bronze
I
Age.
don't think these guys like reading older comics though. They said they're too wordy, too much exposition dump. I was like,
Then don't read a Marvel comic. Definitely don't read an X-Men comic. Because that was my biggest issue with Marvel comics is, man, they are way more wordy than
mhm.
DC comics. But that's how the brand is, and it works for them.
And hey, DC is doing better than Marvel right now. Actually, the only best-selling Marvel book was one they did in collaboration with DC. The best-selling book was Deadpool Batman or Batman Deadpool.
I'm not surprised.
Keep in mind,
I
their
mean,
only bestseller was with them doing something with someone else. That's crazy.
yeah, yeah, and it's interesting like how they're doing that digitally. Like, so on DC Infinite, they will release like a couple of the issues of that, and
Mhm.
then the other couple issues are on the Marvel comic book
Right.
app.
Mhm.
And it's like you've got, well, okay. if you know where to go, like there are a couple places online where you can just find everything for free if you have a good ad blocker. But you know, if you're paying for these subscription fees, you've got to go from, if you want to read these, you've got to go from DC to Marvel.
Yeah, man, it was great having a conversation with you. Can't wait to have you on the show again.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming by and checking out this episode of